It is time for another track test here on Speed Academy, and this one I think we can file under the most unconventional yet. It's a Nissan Hardbody drift truck. If you guys are subscribers to our channel, you'll recognize Riley Sexsmith. He is the pro drifter at NV Auto, and I'll call him coach because he's teaching me how to drift a little bit.
Slowly.
Although I'm a terrible student.
No, come on.
I'm learning slowly, but today is not about drifting. Today is about doing a hot lap in what is actually your first ever drift vehicle.
Yep. It's a 1991 Nissan pickup or hardbody. D21 is the chassis code for all the Nissan nerds out there.
Yeah, for both of them.
Yeah, for all two of the other hardbody enthusiasts out there.
Yeah.
So it's the original engine. Well, not the original to this truck engine, but it's a single cam K, so 2.4 liter single cam 12 valve.
Okay.
And
hearing it run, it sounds like it's not the stock cam.
No, so it's a Nismo R4 cam, which is their hot street cam.
Okay.
It's got stainless valves, heavy springs.
Wow.
It's got a ported S13 head.
Wow.
Which is a little bit different port design than the truck.
Okay.
S13 intake manifold, upper and lower, the throttle body. Basically the whole head and intake is from the car, which breathes a little better than the truck.
Okay.
The truck has like a downdraft throttle body.
Yeah.
This is more like a conventional plenum style intake.
Right.
So that helps with a little bit of the high RPM stuff.
Does it make any power?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely no power. It sounds like the most angriest engine you've ever heard, but
Yes.
it makes a lot less horsepower than like a Dodge Caravan.
What do you think it makes?
I would say at the rear wheels, realistically, probably 100, 110.
Okay.
It's very, very...
So it's not going to snap my neck back going down the front straight, is what you're telling me.
Not unless you hit the wall with it, no.
Speaking of hitting the wall, I hear the brakes are not great.
No, so the problem is that the brakes are fantastic. The tires, however, are horrendous, and the brake feel is non-existent. So you can lock the fronts up at 400 miles an hour, but you just won't know that it's happened until you see plumes of smoke coming over the fenders.
Okay, so no warning on brake lockup.
No.
Here. And suspension-wise, it's not an original truck under there, or is it?
The front is almost identical to the OE setup. It has aftermarket lower control arms, but it's factory, everything else.
Okay.
The rear, however, is 3-link. So I've done away with the leafs.
Yeah. And
it has really, really big heims and big long pipes that take place of the leafs, and then there's one on top to adjust pinion angle.
Okay.
It also allows you to get the axle centered, and you can actually do the toe adjustment a little bit, so if the axle's not quite straight, you can get it straightened out.
What about the cabin, Riley? Obviously there's a hydro e-brake since it's a drift vehicle, but
yeah.
Anything in here I need to know about before I go and die?
Well, it's pretty basic. Believe it or not, the pedal placement is phenomenal.
Okay.
You can heel toe downshift like you were Emerson Fittipaldi in this thing.
All right. December 20th, so it's cold, the windows are down, so if there's snot streaming down my face, if I look like I'm frosting up, now you know why. Alright, I'm going to try to warm this thing up and see what happens. I have no idea what's about to become of my life, but why not? Let's just send it and see what happens. Good for heel and toe, though. The shifter is hilarious. Like stirring a pot of soup here. It actually doesn't want to drift that much. I'm not sure how Riley even drifts this thing. It's so straight line. It's hilarious. Oh no! Hello Kitty fell down! That has to be one of the most hilarious driving experiences of my life. I don't even know how to describe what it's like to drive a drift truck with 100 horsepower in cold weather on all-season tires and try to turn a hot lap in it. It is absolutely hysterical. But it actually has really good handling balance. Obviously, as a drift truck, it wants to oversteer a lot, but that means you're never fighting with understeer, and it's really fun to drive it with a throttle and lots of counter steering and just sliding around and having a good time. And because it has no power, you don't really get yourself into any trouble. I mean, the front brakes do lock up really easily. I'm sure I did that multiple times, but it'd be pretty hard to drive this thing off the track unless you get into it like a big tank slapper, which I got into a little one there, but it was never in risk of mowing the lawn. But wow, all in all, what a hilarious, hilarious truck. So let's take a look at the lap timer and see where it falls. And the survey says it is not the slowest car we've ever tested. It did a 1:29.5, which puts it in between our friend Rick's IS300 and our friend Mike's Scion TC. So it is the second slowest car and also the fastest truck we've ever tested here at Toronto Motorsports Park. So congratulations, Riley, on building the fastest truck ever to turn a hot lap here at TMP. Probably not, but we're gonna say that anyway. What else can I say about this other than I didn't talk as much in there because I was too busy smiling. It was just so hilarious to be driving this machine that was built to do the exact opposite of what I was trying to do in it. And in these conditions where it's like cold out, I can't hear anything because the motor's super loud and that helmet doesn't really allow anything to, you know, filter in. So it's a bizarre driving experience, but a really, really fun one. And super well balanced in the corners. Like in turn one, you turn in and it just goes into a little bit of slide, and then you just manage the slide with a throttle out to the curb, and then you go really, really slowly down the straightaway to the next turn. And you heel and toe beautifully because, as Riley said, the pedal spacing is perfect and it rev matches like magic. And then it feels pretty good in second gear. Like it actually has a bit of poke in second gear. So through the slow sections of the track, you feel like you're making ground, and it's always just sliding a little bit, but it never like feels like it wants to snap on you. It doesn't have like a really aggressive locker in the rear end. I mean, I think it does have a locker, but it never felt like it wanted to like really try to grab the back end and spin me around. So really it's just being held back by the fact that it's on the world's cheapest all-season tires and has brakes that lock up if you even hint at using pressure more than say your grandma might use on the way to the corner store. So you cannot blitz the braking zones, and you can't expect big cornering G-forces, but what it does produce is very big smiles. So love everything about the drift truck. Now I want to go and drift it, but actually rather than watching me just fail at drifting, why don't we throw Riley in this thing and have him go do some skids? So before you see that footage, I should quickly say thank you very much for watching. We appreciate all your support. And give us a thumbs up for more track tests in the future. Hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss any more wacky track tests that we may have coming for you. And be sure to check out speedacademy.shop for hard parts or even swag like this super sweet flex fit hat I'm rocking right now.
A thoroughbred racer, so you really got to be on your game at all times. It's a balancing act for sure. The steering is pretty slow, as I'm sure you can see.